So welcome back, everybody, to our monthly Q&As, where I'm Jeff Feinman. Dr. Christina Chambreau is somewhere in the background, and why we're here is to basically convey the beam blueprint that is going to help keep your animals as happy and healthy as possible using very specific actions that are part of the BEAM framework. So I am going to ask you all, and at least until Dr. Christina gets here, I'm going to ask you all, if you have any questions, to please just raise your hand. So let me do this and do this and let a few more people in. And I think Tina got bumped out. Let's admit Tina. And why don't we get started? What's going on here? All right, so Lainey, do you know how to unmute to ask your question?
Hi, thank you.
No.
I'm excited to be here. I keep missing these sessions because I have to work. So this is actually really great timing because I'm getting a new kitten. I was actually in between having any pets because my beloved died, a couple 2 years ago. And so I've just been, and he had a hard end of life just medically. And I got him as a middle-aged cat. Anyway, so I've been doing lots of research and I found you through Medical Medium actually. And yeah, I've been kind of in the forums and in the community for about a year with you. So I have questions about this new kitten. I haven't gotten them yet. I don't know what the sex is. They're going to be ready in about 3 weeks. So I want to know, I've gone through the 101 course a few times, but I guess there's just some leftover questions. So what should I do? I mean, about food, I'm thinking. I'm wondering if I should already add the RX Cat Essentials, when to spay, neuter, vaccine. Those are the big ones. So I could add
You've
one at
got
a
a
time.
lot of baby questions, a new baby. Are you
And I couldn't find anywhere in the forum that kind of laid them out. So that's what I'm
yeah, there are actually a few posts, and Dr. Jean is a kitty expert. I'm wondering, have you been in the HA resources? You mentioned that you saw the 101 course, but I'm wondering if you're a community member and actually were able to get into the resources, because a lot of
no,
it is,
maybe I should do that.
if you can do that, yeah, that'd be awesome. There's no, actually, I think there is a new pet area, and there is a new pet area on the forum as well. But the very first thing, of course, is just, where were you rescuing the kitten from?
It's actually not a rescue. It's a little barn cat. So
Barnstable.
yeah. So they're trying to find homes, but it's not through like a rescue
Okay,
organization.
well,
Yeah,
that's great. That means that the kitten's not been to the vet yet. No
yeah,
vaccines,
exactly.
nothing like that. Yep. Just bring her home, live her up, and just feed her as fresh food as she can. To make believe she's, just like your other cat. You know, um, it's nothing special. You don't need to start adding stuff to her just because she's a baby.
So I read somewhere about the goat milk too. Should I include that if because she'll be coming from recently just starting to be able to eat solid food.
Леня, да, я должна нажать,
sorry.
чтобы не было моей картинки.
Sorry, I'm just
Леня.
Laney, okay, there we are. Yeah, the goat's milk would be great, and raw goat's milk
Нажимала.
would be even better if you're able to get your hands on raw goat's milk.
Okay. And then so for the rest of the questions around vaccines and spay or neuter, I can find that in the form once I.
And your best bet is just start a thread on the forum, and we'll be able to answer it every day until you have no more questions.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm happy to just go ahead and do that and not take up kind of time in here if that already exists out there.
Okay, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
And of course, we'll see if you want to come on Monday. We can answer any questions in the chat that time. And you may want to book a 15-minute call with me or Dr. Christina just to get on the right page or the same page.
Oh,
Start fresh.
great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I didn't really realize that was an option, so I'll look into that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lainey. Okay, bye. Okay. So let's move on. Is it Ilsa?
Yes,
Okay, Elsa, go ahead. What you got?
I have a 14-year-old cat who has been diagnosed with IBD or small cell lymphoma, and he just had a fibrosarcoma on his right flank removed. They think it could be vaccine associated. And they say that they got really good clear margins. And now they suggest that I do radiation. I just started in on CBD, so I'm hoping that that will help. But what is your opinion about radiation? They have a new machine at WSU. It's called a linear accelerator, which is really precise and doesn't damage the surrounding tissue, they say. So we have a consultation on 7/11.
Yeah, I'd say go for your consult and do everything possible right now. And when Beam, Blueprint, and Roadmap come in, do everything possible to raise your kitty's Beam vitality, and then get ready for radiation if you decide to go for radiation.
Okay.
Has she seen the oncologist yet?
No, that'll be done on the 11th. So right now it's just been surgically removed.
Have you taken the one-on-one course?
No,
The HA.
I need to revisit that. Yeah, I'll do that.
So that'll give you really good bases for what you can do to get ready for whatever you decide to do with her. And are you working with a vet homeopath? Because now is a good time to get that in place as well.
No, I'm not.
If that's an option for you, maybe something to think about now, because it's not going to change what you do necessarily, but it's going to improve the outcomes by upgrading her vitality and balance.
Yeah, I'm also going to start him on mushrooms. I hear that lion's mane is good for small cell lymphoma and cordyceps.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be as worried about the. I'm sorry, I don't know where the.
If they love doing that, if they love eating it, that's a wonderful thing. And I put in the chat the website for the homeopathy organization. So you can go there to find homeopaths who will work virtually. And
Okay.
are you in England? I hear the accent.
No, I'm in Seattle. I'm from Denmark.
You're in Seattle. Okay, there's some that you can work with right there. So go to that website and you'll find ones you can work with.
Thank you very much.
Great, good luck.
And Leslie wasn't able to raise her hand. So let's go ahead. Oh, she did figure out how to raise her hand. Okay. Well, hang on, Leslie. We're doing them in order then, now that you've raised your hand. Okay, Ruth, go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Jeff and Dr. Christina, and hi, Tina. I'll talk to you later. So I have a problem with one of my dogs and having her nails cut. The last time that I took her to the groomer, they could not do it. They recommended I go to another groomer that was nearby because they had men on duty that thought maybe 2 men holding her would be better.
No, here's the thing is, are they at this point, Did you get them cut or not?
I had to go to my vet, and unfortunately she had to be sedated, and I
Okay.
did not want to do that again. So I'm looking.
Good. So
for
now is the
alternatives.
time. Now is the time. We've had a number of speakers talk about this. So I would highly recommend you need to be working with her so that you yourself can handle her toenails perfectly. And are you a member of Holistic Actions?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. I thought you were, just double checking. So Dr. Jeff, do you know off top of your head which recently we've had some people talk about nail trimming? Do we have that on the website? Have you looked on the website? Have you put nail trimming in the search box?
I've tried, but I haven't found exactly what I think is the problem. Something triggered this in her because before there was not an issue. And right now I have back and neck issues. There's no way that I can handle her. She is a really
Well,
happy dog.
yeah, the trick is, even when it's a trigger like that, and this is for everybody on the call, if you have trouble looking in their mouth, if you have trouble brushing their teeth, cleaning their ears, taking their temperature, hot packing the anal glands, anything like that, you want to start very slowly. You've got 6 weeks to work on this. So start by petting her. She loves being petted.
Oh, I pet her. I handle her feet.
Oh, you handle her
mouth.
feet.
Oh, yes.
Now,
That's
when
why I
you-
don't understand what's going
Well,
on with this. So,
hang on a sec. When you handle her feet, can you wiggle each toenail separately?
yes, yes, and I can
And
tickle her
can you
feet.
can you make a clippy noise with the clippers?
I've actually taken the clippers right to her. She'll sniff them. I have a small mini grinder. I've turned that on in front of her. It's just that when anything touches her nails, she gets, and she does.
What about when you're
She does have
even
a lot
even
of
when
hair.
your finger touches her nails,
No, I can touch her nails.
but
with-
you can't touch it with the clippers.
Correct.
Even if you I would slowly work that down. And this is for everybody. Ruth has done exactly what you need to do to get them trained to like things like that. And now she's at the point with, whoops, now I would still work with the clippers along the foot and then to the nail. But the other would be to work with an animal communicator.
That's what I was thinking. That was going to be the next
Absolutely. I
question.
would say that's your next step.
Okay.
Dr. Now, are you working with Dr. Jeff as a homeopath or
No,
not? No.
no.
Okay. Do you have a homeopath you're working with?
I have a holistic vet who does some homeopathic stuff.
Okay.
So
I was just thinking, what do you think, Dr. Jeff? 1 dose of aconite?
Oh, okay.
It would depend on what the trigger was, actually.
But we don't know.
'cause
I'm just
what-
thinking fear ever
well,
since.
when did it start, Ruth? I mean,
Started about 1 month ago when I tried to take her to a regular groomer, and it just totally failed. And then a week later, my vet was back in town, and that's when she was sedated to have the nails clipped. So her nails are at the point where they need clipping again.
Oh,
it totally failed, meaning she freaked out when you were trying to get them clipped, or
we got to keep going.
She just struggled. It wasn't like she tried to bite or growl or anything. She just struggled so much that they
Right.
couldn't
Well,
safely
Why-
clip her nails.
why don't you start a thread on the forum? Because there are other thoughts, but like Dr. Christina said, we
That would
need
be great.
to-
The other thing would be flower essences, stress stopper from Jackson
I
Galaxy
have
or Rescue
that.
Remedy.
I have them.
You've done an awful lot. So start the thread. We may go with aconite. That's a possibility.
Right.
I think it's a good
Yeah.
thing to, but we'd love to get more detail, more context.
Okay.
And that's
Right.
the benefit, everybody,
Ruth.
of being a member, is that you can post these details on the forum where we can help you more. So I apologies for not being here, and I want to apologize ahead of time if I cut people off a little bit. Sometimes it seems rude, but I've heard some things enough that I can usually come in. Now with Ruth, I didn't, because she had already done everything I was going to suggest. Okay, Cammie, go ahead.
Thank you.
Can't
Hi,
hear you.
everybody. Hi, Dr. Jeff.
Hi.
You might remember you helped us with our puppy last year, Chia. We have a new dog now. After Chia passed, we have Alex. She's like a little white terrier, 12 pounds. and really happy, really good beam. But just this weird symptom, which is at night when she's sleeping in our bed, she scratches at her ear and kind of like groans or cries. It'll be like in the middle of the night a couple times, like, and we'll be like, oh, what's wrong? And she'll go back to sleep. And we've had her groomed, so I don't think it's like mites or like I have no reason to believe it's anything else. And she eats fine, she's happy, she plays. We
And
try
by
to
the
give
way,
her
for
stuff.
everybody else, that's what BEAM means: behavior, energy, appetite, mood. So when Kemi said that her beam was good, that's what she meant. She's doing well other ways. So it could be all sorts of things, but more likely something. It's just something as a trigger for her. Maybe she hears some dog way off that you can't hear, or some noise, and that's just her anxiety response to do that. Again, talk to an animal communicator might be a good idea.
Yeah.
And record exactly what time it happens, and if it's every night, and then try something soothing, like try some of the soothing music we've talked about on the website, flower essences. Experiment with each one for about a week and see if it changes. Dr. Jeff, anything else about the ear itself?
Not off the top of my head, Kemi.
Okay.
Is it
And
red especially, or?
She said it looks fine.
It looks totally fine, yeah. Like she
Yeah,
cries
so
when she scratches it in the middle of the night. Just,
Right.
here and there a couple times.
Yep. And July says the same thing, that her dog has been scratching his ear a lot and she can't see anything at all. And he does it during the day as well as at night. So this is a time when these minor symptoms happen, everybody. First, one of the benefits of being a member is that you look at everything like BEAM and you go, oh, I don't have to rush to the veterinarian right away. The ear looks good, the dog's doing fine in other ways. So that saves you money and time and stress. So that's something you learn when you're a member of Holistic Actions. So I would be looking at boosting the immune system in some way and looking at things that are soothing. It might be for Kemi, maybe it's doing a lot more exercise or something, play before you go to bed, and then doing some calming music during the night, or these other things we talked about. And July, keep watching carefully, see if you can figure out any triggers, and maybe try massage. And for everybody, anytime there are ear problems, even if they're red and maybe discharging, if you have a chiropractor you can work with, I've often seen chiropractic adjustments completely relieve ear problems. And Peter DeBias, who's spoken with us, you can search for that. He has found that dogs that are walked on a leash and a collar, if they're switched to a harness, that itchy feet and itchy ears will often go away. So that's another thing to think of. Okay, on to Janet.
Hi, Dr. Jeff, Dr. Christina. Thanks for taking my question, and thanks for what you do. I'm new to this, so I'm not a member yet, but I did talk to Dr. Jeff. I sent an email about my poodle pup who was vaccinated by the breeder at 9 weeks. And now she's 12 weeks. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but it was done. Not to worry about.
Yeah. Well, it's just the next set of vaccines now.
Nope.
For distemper and
Nope. I'm interrupting you because two things.
Okay.
One is, for free, you can go to the Holistic Actions website, holisticactions.com,
right.
and then take the 101 course. And we have a whole section on vaccines and why they don't need to get repeated. So rather than spending the time here, everybody with vaccine questions, it's good to read that first.
Okay.
And then if sometimes the way different people write, so on my website, which is my name, ChristinaChambreau.com, I have a whole set of articles about vaccines as well. The bottom line is viral vaccines last a lifetime, usually after 1 or 2 doses. And if you can expose your puppy in tiny increments, so go places, take the puppy out, then you're getting
I have been, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then you've got natural immunity. And the second thing for everybody out there with puppies, you really want to make sure that right now you get a holistic veterinarian on board for you. And again, that's a free article we have at holisticactions.com called
Right.
holisticactions.com/select.
Right. And she reacted apparently to that.
In what way did she react?
Her skin broke out. She had a rash.
Okay, so that's actually a good thing. So
Is
if
it?
we haven't, so for everybody, every animal, every person has a unique energy field. And when it's pushed off balance, it produces symptoms, diarrhea, vomiting, liver, cancer, itchy, to rebalance itself. If the energy field is healthy enough to make something on the skin, that's good because no dog dies of skin itchiness.
Right.
So it's a good sign anytime in treatment, if itchiness appears,
Okay.
that's a good thing, or even a rash or things like that, especially
Okay.
if it comes and then goes and the beam is good. Now,
Yeah,
you
beam is
will
excellent. The beam
now
is
you will
excellent.
need, good, you will need to do the rabies vaccine.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's
what,
coming up at 5 or 6, like 5 months.
5
But
months?
nothing
Really?
else.
As
I-
late as
Oh.
I would,
I push it as far as I can, whatever you need to do to be legal, 4 months, sometimes 3 months, but
Yeah. So you're
But
saying like
as-
one and
as
done.
late as
She's done now with
Yes.
distemper
for
and
life,
parvovirus
for life.
for life. She's
Now,
had it.
if you want to be, if you're nervous, you can always do a single time. Maybe at, 5 months of age, you could do a titer for distemper and a titer for parvo, just to know that
They
your
won't do
built-in
that
immune
here.
react-
They won't do that here.
Then you get
No.
another vet. Then you get
Yeah,
another
well,
vet.
that's hard. In this province,
do
I'm
you-
in New Brunswick. I'm in New Brunswick, Canada.
Okay.
Really hard. Yeah.
Still go to our article on select, because
Yeah.
there are some around. And
Yeah.
if you go to all the websites, do that
Yeah.
article. And
Well,
then
I
come
would like to
back.
do a titer. Yeah. I'd love to do the
Yeah.
titer. Yeah.
But if not, don't worry about it.
No.
But more important, get a holistic vet on board.
Okay. Thanks.
Good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Leslie, finally for you.
Hi. Thank you for taking my question. Dr. Jeff, you helped me with a couple of my dog's GSDs like 8 years ago. And so I'm reasonably well versed in homeopathy, done a lot of learning since then too. Didn't have a dog for a number of years, and I just adopted a 6-year-old German Shepherd. She has been heavily vaccinated. She's been on Purina kibble, and she's been given drugs. Amazingly, her health isn't bad considering all that, but she does have anxiety issues and itching. And so I just got her on board with a new integrative vet who specializes more in herbs and flower essences, but she does do a little homeopathy, and she recommended one dose of or couple doses of Nux vomica 200C, and then followed a week later by Thuya. But I know this kind of targeted approach is a little different than the classical whole system approach. And I went ahead and gave her the Nux vomica, but I'm wondering, should I go ahead and give her the Thuya and give her some time? And the reason why I'm asking is my financial situation is a lot different than it was back then. And so I'm wondering, would it be okay to go ahead and give the Thuya, wait a couple months, and then try to do a consult with you or someone? Or
It's fine. It's fine to give it.
fine?
So there's never, the thing to remember is there is no one right answer, no one right expert. And so if you have somebody you're working with there that works for you, then go ahead and try it. But the key thing is to keep a journal. So you can create your own journal. On my website's an article about keeping a journal. And you can basically make a list of any symptoms that are present now. And then you did the Nux, what changed? Then you did the Thuya, what changed? And particularly paying attention to beam, energy level, appetite, mood, behavior, that type of thing. And then you go from there. You may not need a constitutional, maybe that'll take care of it. So the main thing is do one at a time and then see what changes, regardless of any treatments that any of you are doing. If possible, do one at a time. Makes
Okay.
sense? So
Yeah.
sure, go ahead and do it and see.
Do you mean like, so I shouldn't, she gave me flower essences, so are you saying that that wouldn't be adjunctive, that should be a either or?
No, you don't want to do both the same time. So if you can, depending
You're
on
talking
what's,
about the homeopathic remedies, right?
well, anything. If
Oh,
you're, for instance, if you decide to switch probiotics and start vitamin E and start 5 other supplements,
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
you would want to start with one, wait a week and see what changed. Add
Got
another
it.
one, see what changed. That's
Okay.
all. Same thing
Okay.
with flower essences. Once you're on the essences, then you know the baseline, and then you could do the remedy, and then you'd see what changed. Or you do the remedy, see what changed, and then do the flower essences.
Okay. Dr. Jeff, do you have anything to add to that, or is that
Yeah, I mean, isolating one at a time. The only other thing I was going to add was, I forget, Leslie, are you still in or are you in HA? Because I was going to suggest that you schedule a call with either Christina or I to figure out the next step. But the plan that Dr. Christina mentioned sounds great to start.
Oh, yeah, I'm a member now.
Oh, great. Well, then definitely
Yeah.
do it with Dr. Jeff. Schedule it with Dr. Jeff. So members get to schedule a call with either Dr. Jeff or I once a month. Now, we're not treating, but we're helping you figure out next steps.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
just-
sorry about that. And Leslie, please start a thread on the forum, because that'll supplement whatever else we talk about.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
And I just want to say, I am seeing, Alexis, I'm seeing your post, so we'll try to get that addressed. Lee, you're next. And Lee was talking about kittens with eye problems, and everything you suggested is fine. Now, this is an example when you have some feral kittens that have something going on. This one has goopy white discharge, swollen. Can you talk, Lee? It sounded like you couldn't. Okay, I don't think she can.
Yeah, no, Lee is not connected
So,
to audio.
Is she a member, Jeff? Okay, don't know.
Don't.
So when you have something that's acute like this, it's really fine to do more than one thing at a time, because you want to see what improvement you get, and then you start stopping one after the other. But warm water compresses, I would put calendula in the water, couple of drops and a cup of water. Colloidal silver orally and in the eye would be fine. I'd sort of, even there, I'd try one and then try the other. You don't want to overwhelm the, I wouldn't do 2 topicals the same day. Lysine is always good for any eye problems because they could be related to herpes virus. Put the vitamin C in vet food, absolutely. And as soon as you join Holistic Actions, you said you're joining it pronto. So as soon as you join Holistic Actions, you can post in the forum what you've done and what you want to try next. And you will get lots and lots of support. So you can let me know in the chat if there's anything else that you needed. And now we have NLP who figured out how to make it work. Go ahead. You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. You're still, there you go.
There
I
we
did?
go. Yep,
Now
you got
Okay,
it.
yay. Thank you. Very good. Okay, Dr. Christina, I talked with you a week ago on a meeting. I am a member. Yay. Everybody who's here, join. And we were talking about Pumpkin, and she was the one that had the abscess tooth on the left side.
Yep.
I'm not expecting you to remember, but just
yeah, I do. There was.
You do remember?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. So we talked on Wednesday because you called me. And then Thursday morning, her whole cheek swelled up. And Thursday afternoon, I'm imagining this, I wasn't present. She scratched her cheek on that side where the swelling was, and we saw 2 lines on it. And that was about, I don't know, 5 o'clock or something. And I went, oh my God, what's happening? I'll have to take her to the vet tomorrow. And then at 9 p.m., I came back to where she was, and it had exploded. And everywhere, I tell you, my office was blood-ridden. Anyhow, and naturally I was in total freak out, like completely total freak out. So we put her in, and off we went to the emergency, which we're fortunate to have half an hour away.
Oh, now at that point, just to interrupt, at that point, if he was feeling good, was he feeling good and still eating?
She was,
Sorry.
okay, pumpkin, she eating, yeah, you know, she was
So at
eating,
that
and
point, you could have treated it just topically and as well as internally.
well, there were 2 holes.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, but so you went to the vet, and what did they say?
Okay, I'll tell you what she had to endure now. So off we went, and so wait, I've got the right here. Okay, so off we went, and of course we're into triage.
Briefly.
Yes.
Okay.
I could brief, because I have what I want. I had other questions. Okay. Yeah, so off we went, and she got triaged, and we were there for 6 hours before she finally got in. And so they shaved her face. Her whiskers are cut off on that side. And we were trying to clean up the wound. And then of course she got gabapentin oil, Medicam for the pain. Gabapentin was if there's more pain, and then clindamycin for an antibiotic. And so then we started the medical ordeal here at home, she and I. And the one drug I had to give every 6 hours, so that was lack of sleep, and on it goes.
So what's your question? We need to move to your question.
Yeah, question. Okay. So extract, so now her vet's out of town. So now she's going to a different vet today, and they're talking, well, they're going to check her over because we got to make sure there is no infection. It's a real crusty mess on her face. But also they're getting ready for a tooth extraction. I'm finally getting there. The tooth extraction, and then they say they might extract the tooth on the other side as well, because it has a small abscess on it. And then also cleaning. And then maybe they'll have to sew her face for the holes to not be there.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, because that's why I want everybody on this call to get a holistic vet right away that you can call. And did you post on the forum about this?
No, I've been in nurse
okay.
land.
Like the first day when you had to go to the clinic, that would have been the time to post, because you might have been have to avoid this. You know, at this point, Dr. Jeff, I'm not sure. We're not there. We're not looking at the cat. You may have to just go and do everything they say, and then start picking up the pieces afterwards. And then on the forum, once you can breathe, because I know you have other stuff going on, once you can breathe, then you post this on the forum and say, at each step, what could I have done differently? And have it be a learning experience for you. But at this point, unless you can find a holistic vet who can see you in the next couple of days, you're going to have to go with pretty much what they say, and start posting on the forum, because we can give you supportive things to do.
Okay.
But without looking at it, I can't tell you whether it needs stitches or not, whether the teeth need to come out or not.
And put on the form, you can upload your pictures if you have time.
Yes. Yep.
Upload, that would be awesome.
That's right. So definitely post on the forum.
Okay. 2 things.
And find a vet. Okay, go on.
And do what? Find the, okay. Now you really told me what to do when we had our little chat.
But don't go there. If you've done it, don't go there. 2 questions, you said.
I found the vet. I want to get praise. I found the holistic vet 45 minutes away, and I don't have an appointment yet, but I found one.
Okay.
So there's step 1.
Well, good.
Because of this entire ordeal, Pumpkin now will only eat wet canned food.
Okay, that's fine.
Also,
Don't worry about food at this point.
Oh, don't worry about food. Oh my
Feed the
God.
best, feed the best the pumpkin will eat. You want to work on pumpkin's happiness. So for everybody, we've had
Okay.
people posted in the forum with some pretty severe illnesses, some liver problems, hepatostorage disease and things like that. And the key is, number one, work with a homeopath if you can, or good Chinese medicine vet or chiropractor, and happiness. Focus, particularly when they're very ill, going through a whole lot. You want to focus on happiness. What makes you and that cat or dog happy? And that's your most important job, because sometimes you just have to let the vet do what they're going to do. And your job at home is focusing on happiness and then picking up the pieces afterwards. Okay, you get one more question, and then we've got to move on to 10 other people.
Yes, I don't have another
no,
question.
just-
I'm
Oh, okay.
absolutely thrilled. Thank you very much. Oh,
You're-
and Reiki.
Yes,
Pumpkin
Reiki,
is
definitely.
demanding 3 hours of Reiki
Good.
a day.
Excellent.
3 hours.
Everybody,
Wow.
everybody learn holistic, I was just reading a heart post, learn holistic, energetic approaches like Reiki, Tellington Tea Touch, HTA, Eden Energy Medicine, all the ones we talk about. And there's Dr. Tina Ellen Bogan. Go ahead.
She wrote everything in the chat, so she may
Oh.
want you to read
Oh,
it.
there it is. Okay. Oh, this isn't Dr. Tina. This is our, yes. Whoops, you're muted. You're muted,
It's
Tina.
me. It's
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I actually have two
So,
questions, but I
Yep.
put it in the chat.
yep. So the main thing I do is, with that, are you doing TCVM or, I mean, I know you're doing Reiki.
No, I
No?
don't know Reiki. I can
Oh, I
ask
thought you
for
did.
Reiki.
I
No.
thought you did. Well, I would get on board with a homeopath. You may be able to get rid of a lot of this stuff. Either a homeopath or good or traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. For everybody
Wait.
else, that's the abbreviation TCVM.
Yeah. What you reading the post about the dachshund? My dachshund?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
so
heart murmur,
that's all I think I need to get rid of. You're talking about the high blood pressure?
yes. Yeah, it shouldn't need to be on any drugs. Absolutely should
Well-
be able. Absolutely, if you find the right homeopathic medicine or the right meridians and acupuncture points and maybe diet and or Chinese herbs, all of that can be, absolutely. I've worked with a ton of Cavalier King Charles, and Larry Bernstein knows a lot about heart stuff. Do you know Larry Bernstein? You may want to.
No, I don't, but I
talk
know
to
about
him.
Cavaliers.
Yeah, he was president of a AVH and AHVMA both. So that would be my major next step for support. I mean, for cure, not just support.
So gosh, I didn't think either one of those were curable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
go ahead.
I wouldn't even worry. I mean, the echo was within normal limits. I wouldn't even worry about the heart murmur, because the murmur is probably secondary to hypertension. So
Well,
what
right.
I'd be focusing on homeopathy and sniffing as much nose work, as much stuff mat work, as much happiness as possible, because when your dog is in his zone of joy, his zone of genius, they heal like nobody can even predict. And
Yeah,
I totally agree
Thank
that
you.
the hypertension in the heart will resolve.
Yep.
Well,
give me a call, Tina. Give me a call, Tina, if you want to just brainstorm.
Well, can you answer one thing about that I'm sort of sitting here with open eyes about, that might be helpful for everybody else who isn't about? Wait, now I just forgot what I was going to say. The bleed, I mean, so now he's blind in that eye. I mean, it was this acute, huge thing with no precipitating thing that I saw. So are you saying, so the ophthalmologist is the one who diagnosed that, and it's someone I've known for 25 years. I mean, he's been fabulous. And he said he's about to write a paper, I guess. He believes that dogs get primary essential, the same thing people get just from getting older and depending what you eat, I guess. But he believes that's a thing, and there's a whole bunch of debates about that, including between him and the cardiologist that he sent me to, who's a new person. He's not a cardiologist I know as well. So that there seems to be this debate about whether heart murmurs cause which is primary and secondary.
Well, that they're both missing the point. What's
Okay.
primary is an imbalance in the energy field,
Okay.
and they can cause either one. And I'll bet you that research down the line will show it can happen either way.
Okay. I mean,
And, you know, but if we can fix the energy field, there was, this is human, everybody, that there was a person who was in a train wreck, severe train wreck, and he was blind ever since. When 40 years later, he went to a homeopath for some problem. And when the homeopath took the entire case, which is always all past symptoms as well, he said, boy, that man had a lot of shock when he was in that train wreck. He gave him a very high potency of aconite and his vision came back.
wow.
And so I'm not saying that will happen.
And
That's
my vet's on holidays.
but
Wait a
things like
minute.
that can
my-
be possible.
So, okay, and that, all right, that's amazing to hear. That's not what I expected whatsoever. But it's more homeopath than, because I have talked to my herbalist vet friends.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think herbal is enough. I think you need either really good TCVM or homeopathy.
Okay. And I heard Dr. Jeff say something about his nose work. Is that because I said dachshund?
Nope, that's related to heart and hypertension both. And it also brings in the happiness factor. So that's
yeah,
why, yep.
For him, big time. That's why I was wondering what made you
Yeah.
say that.
Do you have a snuffle mat for him?
Oh yeah, I have like 4 of them, and
Good.
I figured out when he was about 2 years old that there's another part of exercise. They always say physical exercise and mental exercise, but certain dogs need, it's like people, they need something else. He needs nose exercise.
Yep.
So like sometimes he likes going for a ride in the car better than he likes even, I mean, sometimes that suffices, but yeah, he's a nose dog.
Anything that's good for him is what you want. Sniffing especially.
Double what brings him joy between now and next month. And I bet you see improvement just within that couple of weeks. So just double your car rides, double your snuffle mat, double the outside walks.
Yeah,
And
that's
look,
the hard part for me. He's had
and
less
work
of that
with-
because I've had
Yeah,
problems.
it is. That's true for everybody. Everybody has
No.
either busyness, or they can't exercise for their health
Right.
problems. It's a challenge for a lot of people. You're certainly not alone in that, Tina.
And then, can I
Okay, we
ask
need one more, and then we've got to go.
you don't have to answer this in here. It could be somewhere else. You're talking about the websites for the directories for finding people, vets. And I am wondering if the VCPR licensing regulations apply to holistic medicine. Because I know you always say you're not on this on this talk, you're not prescribing, but I'm part of another international group that keeps saying, well, just find somebody who can prescribe across the country or something. And I didn't think I have a
Each-
question.
yeah,
I would like to know how that is from the horse's mouth.
It
Not that you look
depends.
like a horse, but you know.
It depends on the state and it depends on the practitioner. Some people do it, some don't do it. And so that's why we have that as one of the options.
But you do have to, veterinarians do have to
They should have
holistically only
yeah.
practicing that still have to abide by the traditional
Well, yes,
regulations of their state,
yes,
theoretically.
yes, and some
Okay.
are willing to work out different ways of doing it, especially during COVID. Things changed a
Yeah.
lot. So it
Yeah.
depends on what state you live in and who you're taking on as clients and
Okay.
like that. So
But written
if you want,
in law
if
would
you
be,
want to talk more about that, I'd like
Yeah.
to do it not with this group. Okay.
yeah, that's fine. I just wonder for people, because
Oh,
COVID did change that and made it
Ti-
easier. Anyway,
Right, Tina,
great.
we need
Thank
to
you.
move on.
I'm
Okay,
fine.
thanks.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, Dr. Jeff, you want to answer the neuter one?
I have not seen it yet, so I don't know. I'm just sending you another part.
Just
Can
because
you read it?
she said she has a Weimaraner with one undescended testicle. And she was planning to wait 18 to 24 months, but could it be just a vasectomy, or because it's an undescended testicle, should it be 18 to 20, should she have it done? Depends on if it's up in the abdomen or if it's just partially down. And if you work with a homeopath, sometimes we can get them to drop if they're not like way up in the abdomen. So again, and probably even sometimes I think chiropractors can get them to drop.
Yeah, and I guess the first question is, how old is the pup? How old is the dog?
Oh, good question. LL, you want to come on, unmute yourself?
But regardless, even if it's a puppy, a cryptorchid puppy, the thing to do is flip them over, and actually the testicles are commonly in the inguinal canal. So your vet, or you can actually feel if it's in the inguinal canal, you have way less of a problem than if it's in the abdomen, because we warn you all about tumors and whatnot, but actually the tumors are usually benign and not a problem. It's twisting. If it's free in the canal and it's hanging there, you can actually get what's called a torsion of the testicle. That's the only reason that I would say, it's a good idea to get that abdominal testicle out, depending on the age of the pup.
Yep, sounds good. So Margaret Ann is asking about the tear staining. We consider tear staining in general to be one of those early warning signs that the energy field is out of balance. And when we, through diet, play, happiness, sniffing, food, eliminating toxins, when we are successful with that of totally rebalancing, and sometimes it could mean supplements for a short period of time, then usually it goes away. However, I've worked with a whole lot of people who have been doing really great stuff, and they're left with just a little bit of tear staining, not the nasal discharge, but just a little bit of the rust colored staining. So I have not always been able to get rid of that, but if their beam is great and they feel wonderful and they're doing great otherwise, I definitely wouldn't be treating with drugs and steroids. And I would really pay attention. I would go back to the beach again and see if if she would be symptom free again, or if that was just just happenstance. But I would definitely check out the beach again and then look to see what's different in the beach, what you were doing differently, feeding differently, stress level, maybe mold in your house, that sort of thing. And then the piece you haven't done, you've done supplements, which is great. You've done a good diet, which is wonderful, but I don't see any energy treatment. So that would be homeopathy or traditional Chinese veterinary medicine, or maybe osteopathy or chiropractic. So that would be, those would be the three others that I would, that I would look at next.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that do it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And just know you're not the only one. Oh, I wish I could think of the name of the book. Dr. Jeff, what's the name of the book? It's The Dog Talking. The dog writes the book, and Jan Rasmussen's book.
Rasmussen, scared poopless.
Scared poopless. And she has Maltese, and most of hers have staining, and she's tried everything holistic out under the sun. But it's a great book for everybody. Scared poopless. It's just got a lot of practical how to do things with your dogs and some holistic. But and she's done a lot with helping in vaccine requirements as well.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So Marciano, you've been using CBD Heal and Mushroom Vitality, Dr. Marty's Pet Probiotic and Digestive Enzyme and Psyllium Fiber. So again, that's a lot of things that are going on. So you may want to try more one at a time, make sure, or two at a time, maybe. I would definitely rotate probiotics, everybody. Probiotics are good to rotate, but I'm not sure. I think I missed the earlier post. Dr. Jeff, what's up with Marciano's problem?
I sent you both because there was actually a lot
I only
of
got that
detail.
one. There's the other one. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. Oh, this is the copper storage disease. Oh, yeah. Well, I'd get off of Hill's ZD diet. And so you don't need to, okay, so something you may have a misunderstanding about. This is a very common misunderstanding, everyone, and I hope that all of you can help spread the word about it. We can start homeopathy. We can start traditional Chinese medicine while they are on any kind of conventional treatments, even on prescription food and all of that. You can start rebalancing the energy field right there. So step one is to go to holisticactions.com/select, read the entire article, and you will be able to find a holistic veterinarian to work with either in person or virtually. And so that is a pretty, you do need a professional working with you for sure. And in terms of switching to a whole food, you're just going to have to work slowly with that. I do pet health coaching. I don't treat animals anymore as a veterinarian, but if you're interested in talking more about switching without getting the diarrhea, or just talking about that, you could certainly give me a call on that. And are you a member? Is she a member, Dr. Jeff? Nope, don't know. And if you were a member of Holistic Actions, if you are a member of Holistic Actions, be sure to post in the forum. And yeah, that's what Dr. Jeff said to you, that you could start using homeopathy right away. It's so important that everybody know that. And then I really thank you, Dana. Dana. I have too many of those in my life. Sorry. I know you well, but I forget which one. It's wonderful for you to present this, because there is no one right answer. And sometimes we've tried everything, we know what to do, and then we try a conventional. And the key thing is always paying attention to, is the symptom you're worried about going away and they don't feel better overall, or as I know is true for you, Dana, that the itchy went away and she's fine with the skin, and you're using other modalities, and she's feeling great in terms of beam and all of that. And so that's what's most important, is looking at the whole animal and paying attention mostly to that. And we have, so Lorraine, pulsatilla is not the only homeopathic medicine for descended testicles. There's in the rubric, in the repertory for that, there's at least 10 or 15. And then I've had other ones drop also. With the tooth abscess, I'm not sure arnica before. I would do rescue remedy before. She's got so much going on. I would just stick with, although they're going to be poking and prodding. So maybe that would be good, Jeff. What do you think, Dr. Jeff? Arnica before she goes in.
I am actually answering the chat right now that it's
That
just
you
what you
agree?
said, it's probably not indicated right now, but you know,
okay.
depending on how much stuff the vet does.
Arnica is for bruising. So if there's you know, poking and prodding a whole lot, then afterwards would be the best time to do the arnica and rescue remedy ahead of time. And you have a dermatologist that's interested in working. That would be awesome. So you definitely, Alexis definitely needs to be working with a homeopathic veterinarian. And good. Yep. Dogwise.com is excellent. And fleas are tomorrow. So my website is my name, ChristinaChambreau.com. And this is very important with Margot, what Margot posted. You are in charge. There's no one right answer. You're the one who knows if your animal is feeling better, even if the symptoms haven't completely resolved yet, and or if more symptoms are appearing. Now you have to also learn some things, because sometimes superficial symptoms will appear and yet they don't. And so you have to wait a little longer. But it sounds like with the anxiety worsening, sounds like you need another veterinarian. And then if you're a member, we definitely have talked about anxiety a whole lot, and I would switch to more raw if possible. Dehydrated's okay, but it's sort of down on the list. Be sure you take the 101 course. We talk a little bit about that. A lot of these growths on the gums aren't too much of a problem. And again, if you had, so you are the one to evaluate how if the person you're working with is a good one or not. That, you know, and it may be great for another person, but not for you and for your dog, or for this cat, or for this particular problem. So those are Marie. So we actually are out of time, everybody. So my apologies. Fireworks is, don't wait. Here's the key. I'm going to do fireworks. Fireworks or thunderstorms or other noises. Don't wait until they start to try the many, many, many things that will help. If you're a member, do a search on both the forum page and on the regular page. And you start now. So there's thunder shirts, flower essences. One man had great success, and you do this again ahead of time, is he called his dog over to him and gave him a treat. And then he would put on music that would, or sounds that were noisy, and the dog would flinch. Or no, he wouldn't flinch. He'd put on this noise and call the dog over for a treat. And then, and bee propolis is fine. And then he made the sounds louder and louder. And when the fireworks came, the dog just went, huh? And then walked over for his treat. So there are multiple ways to train your dog to not be scared. And the free course is, you go to holisticactions.com, and for everybody right now, save the chat. Okay, click on somewhere on your page, there's 3 dots on the chat itself. You click on the 3 dots and it says save the chat. If you're on a phone or something else, you may or may not be able to. Driving them in the car so they don't hear it as much. That's a good idea. I've never heard that one. I love that. So save the chat so you get all this good information. And we'll see you again next month. Hopefully we'll see you all on the forum on the Holistic Action site.
And Monday starts our mobility month, right? Three amazing speakers about stiffness and agility and keeping keeping your dogs and cats, as agile as possible. So hopefully we'll see a bunch of you on Monday as well.
Bye now.
Thank y'all for coming. Bye.